Hello.
Hello and welcome. I've got a bone to pick with myself. I know this looks like chocolate milk. First of all, it's not. It's this weird coffee thing I got for free outside of Sprouts, and I can't tell if I like it or not. It's definitely got some texture in there, and I don't know what the texture is. It leaves a very milky film, so. Something I pride myself on is I really do try to make everything from scratch. I really try to do it the best that I can. Sometimes I even make things more complicated for myself than I need to because I think that makes me a little bit cooler. And when it came to the bagel recipe that I did last time, I cut some corners, and I don't like that I did that. Mostly because they turned out like ass. And also partly because that's just not really my vibe. So today we're doing our first ever redemption episode. I have all the stuff I need. I had to order my Vital Wheat gluten, which is just pure gluten, which adds a lot of like chew to your stuff, and barley malt syrup. I had to get both of these online, but apparently these are two very vital parts. Anyway, we're gonna make some better bagels today. So I am using Binging with Babish and Dan Souza or Souza. I think they came up with it together, or no, I think it's Dan's recipe, but it was living on Binging with Babish's channel. So if you want the original recipe, that's where I got this one. This definitely is like a touch more involved, which usually when it comes to baking is a good thing. I think it's time to get started. Let's make some bagels and drink some weird coffee. Okay, I think I don't like it. With this recipe, we will be using a food processor instead of a mixer. If you don't have one, you can definitely do this by hand. I have one, so I'm gonna do it. So the things that you will need are bread flour, Vital Wheat gluten, barley malt syrup, ice cold water, salt, and bread flour. Did I say that? Oh, and Vital Wheat gluten, and barley malt syrup. What do you need? So we are going to measure some stuff out. We need 14 2/3 ounces of bread flour. Oh, and yeast. You need yeast too. Okay. I had it on the wrong unit of measurement, so it needs to be on ounces. That can't be right. I just don't think that that could be right, because 14 ounces is like 5 times this. We're not gonna do metric. A lot of times yeast gets stuck to the sides. Just make sure you get all that out. Now we pulse this together. Before that, we're going to measure out our 9 ounces of ice water. No point in wasting water. 2 tablespoons of this guy. I always like to just wipe this off because there's no point in keeping it sticky and gross. I'm sure you all do that anyway, but just in case you don't, it's a little tip for you. So what I'm doing here is just pulsing together my dry ingredients and then desperately trying to incorporate my barley malt syrup into my ice cold water, which I should have just mixed in right away, and then I pour that wet mixture into my dry. We combined our first couple of ingredients together. It was just our dry and our wet. I have not yet added salt. We are going to give it about 10 minutes, and that process is called an autolyse. What an autolyse does is it allows the flour to hydrate, and it sort of starts to make all of these like amazing little bread bonds that we love so much. We're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes, which is our autolyse period. Then we'll add our salt and knead some more in here, and then we'll knead by hand. Okay, so we have had our 10-minute rest period on our little guy right here. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of kosher salt and let this go for like a minute and a half. Come here. Yay. I feel like my dough is always stickier than everybody else's. So now we should do 3.5 ounce balls. I am separating my dough into 3.5 ounce balls. I added a little flour, and this is where I knew something started to go wrong. They were also not coming together into tight little balls like I wanted, but then they started to, and I was like, oh my God, this is totally gonna work out, and this bagel recipe will be better, and I'll make it all work. Well, just keep watching. The other problem that I encountered is when I was trying to do my little cage and like make them into their proper ball shapes, they did not want to do it until I added a little more pressure. So for me, the like cage like this wasn't working. I did more of a like this, and then they came together much better. We're gonna let them sit right here for a little bit. I think it's like 10-15 minutes, and then we will roll them out. Okay, now it's time for us to roll them out. This is another part of the bagel process that intimidates me, much like all the rest of it. So what we're gonna do, we have a baking sheet with some cornmeal on there to put our finished bagels on. We have an unfloured work surface, and we've got our little baby bagels. I ended up with 7. For 2 of them, I'm going to do the punch a hole method, and for 5 of them, I'm going to do the roll method. Apparently the roll method is like way better texturally, so we'll see. For now, they have, oh, sick. Oh, I love that for me. That's my fault. It is still pretty sticky, but that's kind of what we want, because we want them to stick onto themselves. You want them to be about 5 inches. I keep rolling these out, and then I roll them into like little worms, and then I roll them against themselves, and then I put them on my hand and I roll again to connect those 2 ends together. I do this to all of them. And you know, I really do want to give you some good advice, but I don't think you'll want to take it from this video. So that's the general idea of rolling them. But maybe let's wait till I get them right before I give you advice. So we've got our bagels all rolled out, and in our cornmeal, we are going to let them sit at room temperature for an hour, and then we're gonna put them in the fridge. I was gonna say the oven. We're gonna put them in the fridge for their overnight cold ferment. And then tomorrow morning, we'll bake these up. So I'm gonna cover these in some plastic wrap and let them sit out here. And I'll show you putting them in the fridge, I guess, if you wanna see it. Fine. I changed into my favorite shirt. I'm gonna put our little bagel babies in the fridge ski. Why am I the way I am, is my question. Okay. So those are going to hang out in the fridge for a day. And, whoa, okay. I went to rainbow, hello. Those are gonna hang in the fridge ski, and we will come back to those tomorrow. Good morning, we're back. So, here's what happened. I left my bagels to proof overnight in the fridge. Now, some of them look fantastic. Some of them look not as fantastic. And I'm curious to see how they turn out. This bad boy looks gorgeous. Oh, how dare she? These ones, I'm not as sure about. Here's another thing that happened while I was letting them proof in the fridge. I was getting some stuff out of the fridge, unrelated, humble brag, and I was like, oh, the plastic wrap that's on top of these looks like it's sticking really bad. Spoiler alert, it was. I sprayed the plastic so that it wouldn't be as sticky, and I think that that messed some stuff up. However, these do still look very springy upon touching them, so I'm not as concerned as maybe I would be at other junctures of this bagel making process. Now, what we have going, a bunch of water that is going to be coming to a boil. Water is boiling, so we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of sugar and a tablespoon of baking soda. My water was boiling, I added my sugar and my baking soda. Then I put my little bagels in, and this is where I start to realize that they look like ass. Now, I still do all of them anyway. After they've all been boiled, I put them onto my wire racks, which go on top of my baking sheets. I put the seasoning on. At this point, I just used everything but the bagel seasoning, and I threw them in the oven, and then I got sad. Okay, so just based on the way this seems to be going, I don't think they're gonna turn out well, which I'm very, very mad about. Let's bake them off and see what happens. I don't even know how to start this. It's so annoying. They didn't turn out again, which is great. Feels nice to have things continually not work out, because at least then your expectations are lowered, you know what I mean? So here are my bagels. Oh, you wanna see my bagels? Munch, munch. Yum. I don't know why they did anything that they did. Here are some things I'm mad about. Let's get into it. First of all, why'd they stick? Second of all, why didn't they not rise? I did everything Dan Souza said. I listened to Binging with Babish. I did it all. Here's what's actually maybe the most annoying thing. I knew there was gonna be something wrong. Yesterday, after I rolled them, actually during the process, it was like, something's happening here. It's too sticky, it's not hydrated enough, whatever. Why is one of them perfect? Like, why is this guy beautiful? Oh yeah, I can just hold it upside down because it doesn't matter. Why is this one great? They all have the tiny little bubbles that a bagel should have. These little blistered bits is fantastic. So why did it do all of it right? It tastes good. That's so annoying. It has a crunch on the outside. Well, this was my breakfast, so I need to make it. I'll take my one good one. Oh, this was our punched bagel, by the way. So yeah, texture's a little different on that one. I think I'm just so frustrated because I like did it all right. I did the longer way. I got all the like fancy ingredients. I'm gonna put some egg salad on the other one. Really, I guess this is just a lesson in like, you have to keep trying. A lot of you guys always ask, what's something that I try to bake but doesn't work out? And I always say scones, but I guess I have a new one for right now, so whatever, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, but it is the end of my day, and it's 11:30. Yeah, I mean, we'll try again. We'll have a bagel redemption number 2. So that'll be bagels taking up 3 places in my channel, which I'm not mad about. Well, I so clearly am. I don't know why I'm trying to lie to you. Maybe there will be a new video where I know how to make bagels soon. But anyway, thank you guys for following along. I do really appreciate the support. I so clearly needed it. Also, I love you, and don't give up, but you are allowed to be mad when everything goes wrong. See you soon.